In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through how to start an Amazon KDP business as a beginner. Now, in this video, I'm going to walk you through every single step. So by the end of this video, you will have your business live and running on Amazon. Now, if you guys have seen my other videos on this channel, this video is going to be one of those where I switch you over to screen recording, and we are going to walk through all of this step by step so you can follow along on your own computer. With that being said, just before we switch over to the computer, a couple things I want to say here. First is I've been in online business for just about 10 years now, and Amazon KDP is a business that I am personally diving into this year. So if you're someone who's looking for an easy online business to get started, Amazon KDP is going to be a really good option. And this specific tutorial is going to be really helpful for you because it'll walk you through every step. All right, so without further ado, let's get straight into this content. By the way, if you do find yourself enjoying this throughout the video, please just give it a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments. All right, so first things first, let's get on the same page as to what is Amazon KDP. So KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing, and this is done entirely through Amazon. Now, essentially what this is you create a cover design for a book, and then you create the interior of that book. You upload those two files to Amazon, and Amazon creates a virtual listing for that book. And people who are coming on Amazon looking for that type of book can purchase it. Amazon will receive that order. They will print it, ship it, and take care of all the customer service for you. Now, if you've been following this channel and you've learned about print on demand, this is the same thing, but for books instead of t-shirts. Now, the reason that I really want to share KDP with you guys is because if you're familiar with print on demand, if you want to sell print on demand on Amazon, you have to apply to be a seller, and not everyone gets accepted. Well, for those of you who have not been accepted to Amazon to sell print on demand, KDP is a great option because anyone can sign up today. There is no application, and everyone can become a seller right away. So with that being said, let me switch you over to the computer and show you some real examples of this so this makes sense. So if you go over to Amazon, you type in something like entrepreneur journal. Now, this is just to give you an example. You scroll down here, these are going to be real products. This is not with KDP. Same thing here. But once you come down, if you see these, it's kind of a mock-up of a cover. Entrepreneur her for a woman. Mind your business. This is a notebook. Millionaire in the making. This is a notebook. If you click on any of these, you will see that this is a business journal. It's 6x9. It has 100 lined pages. And this is the front cover. This is the back cover. This is exactly what a KDP listing looks like. The seller is essentially creating this cover photo, both front and back. And this one you can see is very simple, but it's still ranking on the first page. And then the inside of this book is 100 lined pages. There's no words, there's no graphics. It's essentially just a notebook or a journal. So creating these kind of journals or notebooks where you just create the cover, the inside is just going to be lined pages. These are known as low content books, essentially meaning there is not much content inside. It's just lined pages. Now, this whole business strategy of creating these types of journals and notebooks was popularized a couple years ago on YouTube. People were sharing how to do this. A lot of people got into this business. So there's nothing unique about that. However, the new way of doing this that not many people have access to, if you go back to Amazon and you type in a word search book, these can also be done with Amazon KDP. However, you need to know how to make word searches. So I've gone ahead and I've purchased two of these here to show you an example. This is a 6x9 size. This is an 8.5x11 size. We will talk about this later on, but let me just show you the inside of one of these. This is what the inside of one of these books looks like. It is a simple word search. And what I'm about to show you how to do is create these word searches in just a couple clicks of a button. We're going to use free artificial intelligence. I'll show you all the tools and my exact process on how to do this. And then you can sign up as a KDP seller today. You don't have to apply, and you can start uploading these books and be competing in a much smaller pool of competitors on Amazon because not many other people know how to create these word searches. So guys, I hope all of this makes sense so far. I'm about to switch you back over to the computer. We'll go through this whole tutorial part of this video. But the last thing that I want to say before we get into this is that this has turned into being a very fun and addicting business model for even myself. So I think as you guys learn how to do this, you may get hooked on this as well, and it turns into something that's really fun to do on the side. Okay, so switching back over to the computer here, the very first thing we have to do is come up with different ideas that we want to create word search books about. Over the years that I've been doing several different online businesses, I have learned kind of shortcuts to find different ideas that are actually going to be profitable. So come all the way up to the top, and what we're going to do is take out the book. We're just going to do word search and then do for, and then type in A, and then go through here and see what results you get. Adults, Alzheimer's patients, adults funny. Okay, let's take out A, let's go to B. For boys, bathroom, baddies, beginners, Black women, bakers, book lovers. Let's do C for children, Christmas, Christian. These are all going to be ideas that people are actively searching for. That's why Amazon is suggesting them. So this is what's known as the alphabet soup way of doing research, and you can do it on Amazon itself. So for you just getting into this is the initial way that I would recommend getting started, is just to go through here and type in A, B, C, all the way through the whole alphabet and pick out some initial ideas that you want to start with. For this tutorial, you just need one idea to start with. We might start with Christmas. That's what we'll use for this specific tutorial. Now, a question that you might be asking is, as you start to get into this business, do you have to stay within one niche? Do you have to make only Christmas word searches? The short answer here is no. You can make one Christmas word search and then you can move on to the next one that you find, whether that's Christian word search or whatever topic you want to go into next. So like I said, let's use Christmas word search for this example. So let's just type in the rest of this, Christmas, give that a search. Now, as you start scrolling through these results, you're going to see the first thing that stood out to me in this business model. So in word searches in general, the covers are very basic. This is just normal for word searches, but as someone who's been in online business for many years now, seeing that there are basic covers and these are the ones that are top selling means there is a huge opportunity for us. That means that all we have to do is create a cover that looks as good or better than the ones that are already ranking on the first page, and our product right away has the potential to perform as well as these listings. This is something that I really like about word searches for KDP. When you click on one of these, it doesn't actually show you what's inside of the book. You see the front cover and the back cover, and then all you see is the title and the description. When you actually look inside of these books, they're all word searches. So the inside is all generally going to be the same. So all we're competing on is just the cover and the title. This brings us into the second step, which is the most important part in this entire process. This is actually creating these word search books. Now, in order to save you guys as much time as possible here, I'm just going to bring you into the tool that I use for this. This tool is called Book Bolt. It's kind of an all-in-one tool that you can do everything you need for Amazon KDP in one place. If I have learned anything in my experience of doing online business for so long, it's that you need to have something that other people don't have. So having a tool like this is giving you the ability to do things that the mass of other people that are trying to sell can't do. That's where you are going to succeed when other people aren't going to be able to. So with that being said, I do want to be transparent here. This is a paid tool. It does come at a price. If you go to the pricing, they have both a newbie plan and a pro plan. It's $9.99 and $19.99. I wish I could say that you only need the newbie plan here, but again, this is going to be a barrier to entry for a lot of other people. You need to have the pro plan to do the puzzle creation. Again, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You need to pay a little bit extra to get access to this, but that means that the vast majority of other people are not going to have access to it, so you automatically have less competitors. Now, the bit of good news that I do have for you is that they do have a 3-day free trial, so you can do this entirely for free for 3 days. You can follow along in this tutorial in the next couple of days and make as many puzzles as you can, and I have a 20% off coupon code from them, so it brings it down to something like $16 per month. Trust me, I understand when you are starting a business, you want to be making money, not spending money, but this is that one thing that is going to be so worth it and can either make or break you in this business model. So with all that being said, I will put a link to that discount down in the description, and I'm going to go ahead and get logged in and show you how to do this. Okay, so once you get logged in, what we are going to do is go click on research all the way at the top, and then click on create, and then click on Book Bolt Studio. This is then going to bring you right into their graphic design tool where you have everything you need to create the covers for this and the full interiors. So this is where I left off on the last one that I was creating here. What you are going to do is go to project and then go to new project. And then this is how I would set up your first project here. The first one is the most important. So we're going to do paperback, cover, and interior, and then type in template. I would do it all capital and then go 6x9 word search. Okay, and then leave the trim size on 6x9. You'll see a ton of different other options. 6x9 is what I recommend. And then black and white interior with white paper, bleed, and then page count. This again is very important. Do 110. This is how yours should look for your first one, and then click create project. Okay, so when you first load a new project, you're going to see this kind of red border here. This is explaining how the cover needs to be formatted. So you can kind of pinch to zoom in here, or you can drag down here. This will help you zoom in as well. And then if you do zoom in over to the side or something, you can just click on fit. It's going to bring you right back to how you started. This is just a quick button to help you see everything at once. Now, essentially what this is explaining is a couple important things. So first is this highlighted area right here is where Amazon is going to put the barcode for us. So if you click back to Amazon and you go to the back, they will automatically put that barcode right here. So what that means for us is don't put anything in your cover design over this bottom area right here. Leave that open. And then the second thing is that once you see these red lines and these dotted lines, this is going to be where that border is going to cut off. So you want to make sure that whatever you are putting in your cover is within all of the white. You don't want it to be in any of the red. That means that it has the chance of getting cut off when it is printed. And then the last thing is that this is going to be the front of your cover. This is going to be the back of your cover. You do it all on one page here and you upload that file to Amazon. They are the ones that are going to split it into the front and back image for us. So let's come back over here. The very first step we want to do here is click on the little transparent icon. Then we're going to go to hide cover template. That's just going to take all of that right away. And now it's just a lot easier for us to work with. So essentially what we want to do here is we want to create an initial cover template that we can then customize into every other niche that we're going into. If you've seen any of my print on demand videos in the past, it is all about efficiency. So you want to have a pre-made template for everything so that as you're going into that next niche, you only have to change out the wording, the coloring, the graphic, and everything else is already done for you. So the first thing to do here is come over to the left side. You have your elements, you have text, you have images, and puzzles. The first thing we're going to use is elements. So just click on here and we're going to click on rectangle. What this is going to do is give us a background color that we can use for this template. So I'm going to click on fit. Again, this helps you see everything really easy. And we're going to stretch this over the entire thing. Just know that this can totally overlap. It doesn't matter how big this is. You can go as big as you want, as long as it is covering the entire cover. So what we are ultimately going to be doing here is, although it's starting as black, you just click on this button up here. You can change this to any color. So you can drag this around. You can change this to whatever theme you're going into. So this first one is going to be Christmas themed. So maybe we'll do this as a red or we'll do it as a green. Let's kind of get a darker green going here. Okay, that's starting to look Christmassy. We'll click on OK. And just remember, this is our initial template. So although I'm going to customize it to Christmas, when we do our next topic, we're just going to duplicate this and then we can change the colors again. So once you've got your background color taken care of, I would recommend adding another rectangle, drag it up to the top. Something that I like to do is go to the borders and then drag this in just a little bit here. It's going to round those corners for you. Click on OK, and then you can turn this into kind of the title or the header of your design. When you drag this, it is going to center it to the middle of that page. So once that snaps to center, that's where you want that to be located. Okay, and then the next step we're going to do here is grab some text to put in that heading. So let's just click on the text over here. We're going to go to add heading, and then I'm going to switch this to white just so we can see it right now. Drag this all the way to the top, click on OK. And put that over here in the heading. I'll make it a little bit smaller to start with. And then we are going to double click on this. Let's type in Christmas. Okay, that looks good. And then come back over here and we're going to click on it. Now let's right click on this and we're going to go to duplicate and we'll just drop it down. And then we're going to change this to word search. Okay, as you can see, that's a little bit too big. So let's just make that a little bit smaller. And then I'm just trying to show you how to do this, but I would recommend making sure everything looks perfectly centered here. It all looks like it's aligned. And then I would recommend changing the text. So as you click on these, you can click on a different text, click OK. This is going to show you what that text looks like. Now, kind of a little efficiency is if you close these different panels over here, you can zoom in till you get this to the right side over here. So if you zoom in to the left side, it's going to move it to the right, and that way you can see it. And then you can click on the word, you can click on the font, and you can still see it as you're clicking around. So this will show you what all of these look like in real time. You don't have to close out of the fonts page. Okay, we'll use that for Christmas. Let's go to word search. I'm just going to change that to a light. Okay, that's a starting point for us here. Another small pointer I would give you here is just to make the theme as big as you can, and then make word search a little bit smaller. That way, when someone's just looking through the Amazon search results, they're going to be able to see what that theme is very quickly when they're looking at your listing. Okay, so there we go. We've got our header. Again, this is just a very basic example. My specific template that I've been using looks something like this. You can create something similar to this, or you can go back to Amazon. You can look through all of these results and you can get some template ideas as to how you want to set yours up. But the other two things that I'll show you that are pretty important for your cover is you want to have some kind of graphic for that theme and then a word search puzzle on the cover. So in order to do that, let's come back over to our editor here. The graphic, something that I really like about using BookBolt, just click on the graphic. This is going to bring you into your graphics that you have used, but then also you can click on Pixabay or Unsplash, and these are all going to be commercially usable graphics that you can use. So let's start on Pixabay. Let's just search for Christmas. Give that a search. What I'm specifically looking for when I'm scrolling through here are the ones that have a transparent background. So to show you an example here, things like this is a full graphic, so it goes all the way across, but things like this, it has a transparent background. This has a transparent background. So if we click on this one, it will add it right to our cover. So let's just drag that down here and just know that you can add as many images as you want. So if you come back here, you can keep looking through all of these results. You can click on more things and you can add them to your cover as well. If you can find a spot for this, or if you want to put it on your back cover somewhere, remember, you're going to have a barcode right over here, so don't put anything in that bottom right corner. Now, as I had briefly mentioned before, the last thing that you want on your cover is one of your actual word search puzzles. So this is very easy to do, but the first thing we have to do is actually create one of those puzzles, so then we can paste it on our cover. Okay, so let's get into creating these puzzles. So if you come over to the left side, you're going to see this little puzzle icon. Now, these are all the different types of templates that you could use for the inside of your book. As you can see, these are the lined pages that we saw in the journals and the notebooks. But if you click on word puzzle, this is going to be all of these puzzles that other people don't have access to create. This is what makes our listing unique compared to other people. So right here is the word search standard. That's what we want to click. And another important step here is, what pages do you want to put this on? We want to have the first half of our book be the word searches, the second half of the book be the solutions to those word searches. So we made this book 110 pages long. That means that we are going to have 55 puzzles. So the easiest way to do this is click select from to, and we're going to say from page 1, click OK, and to page 55. Click OK. This is going to select all of this first half of this book without selecting the cover. We'll click continue to options. And then once you get here, you only have to change a couple things. So we're going to change 5 words per puzzle to 9 words per puzzle. Now, the reason we're putting this as 9, just to show you an example here, when this software creates our puzzle for us, it's going to be listing the words in 3 columns. So we want to make sure that we're using the amount of words that's an interval of 3. So it evenly shows however many words there are in each one of these columns. So you can do 9, you can do 15, just make sure that you are doing an interval of 3. Now, for this example, we will use 9, and then go ahead and click on diagonal words, turn that on, reverse words, turn that on as well, and then scroll all the way to the bottom. The only other thing we have to do here is click on choose CSV file, but we don't have that CSV file made yet. What that is the list of words that's actually going to go into these puzzles. So let me take you into the next step, and we will quickly create this list of words that we can then upload here so it can create the puzzles for us. So the best tool to use to create this list of words is ChatGPT. This is a totally free artificial intelligence tool, and if you give it the right prompt, it will write you out a full list of specifically themed words formatted exactly how we need for these word searches. So again, in order to save you guys as much time as possible, I'm just going to paste in the specific prompt that I use. I would recommend pausing your video and writing this down word for word so that you can use this prompt as well. Getting this prompt right is going to be a huge factor in making these results formatted exactly how we need them for our word searches. So write a list of 495, switch X to the niche. I'm going to put in Christmas, but then also put in some other niches that relate to Christmas, just so there are no repeat words, there are no very similar words. Let's put in winter, let's put in Santa, and that should be enough to work with here. By the way, when you start to look at the reviews of other word searches on Amazon, you will see that the most common reason for a bad review when someone purchases is because there are repeated words or very, very similar words, or the words are not related to the niche. So write that out, and then related words that are under 12 characters long combined without any repeating results. Put each result on its own numbered line. Put a % character in between every 9 results on its own line, put a space between 2 word results, and write them all in one response. Okay, that should work. Now you can click enter or click the start button here, and you can watch ChatGPT write out this list for you. It does a really good job and does it really quickly. We are just going through here monitoring to make sure that all of these words look correct, making sure that there are spaces between any 2 word results. I haven't seen any yet, and generally looking through to make sure that there are no obvious repeats. So far everything's looking good here. If you do see that it stopped before it finished your results, you just have to go back and say, write them all in one response. And then I couldn't tell on a couple of these if there was supposed to be a space between 2 words or if those are written as 1 word. So I'm just going to say, and put a space between 2 word results. Click enter again, and this is going to rewrite that out for you, hopefully correcting any mistakes that it had the first time. This is just something that ChatGPT is not perfect, but it is free. It's definitely the fastest, most efficient way to do this without paying for any of the premium artificial intelligence writing tools. The good thing here is that these are just words, so they're not going to be copyrighted or anything. We don't have to worry about that. We just need a bunch of words that relate to this niche in a list that is going to be formatted that works to create these word searches. So if you do come down here and it says that it has stopped before finishing the list, but then it says continue generating, that's great. Just click on continue generating. It will continue the list of results, just building off of the initial list. Okay, so once this has finished, we have our list. Now let's go ahead and copy it. So I'm just going to click from the bottom, drag all the way up to the top, and then I'm going to right click and copy this. Now let's go over to Google Sheets. If you don't have a Google Sheets account, it is tied just to a Google email account. It's totally free to use. But once you are logged into your Google Sheets, just go ahead and click on blank spreadsheet. This way you don't need to use Excel or anything. If you do have Excel on your computer, that's great. I don't have it on mine. You can use Excel totally the same way, but Google Sheets is free for absolutely everyone and it's online based. You don't have to download any software. Click on this first box here and we're just going to paste this. I just hit Command V on my computer. It's just a shortcut for paste. You can hit Control V depending on what computer you are on. And then as you can see, this is starting to line up here. This is where a really good trick comes in. So as you can see, all these percent signs here, we need to have those as blank boxes in between all of these results. So just go ahead and click on Command F or Control F depending on what computer you are on. This is the find feature and we're going to type in that percent sign. So type in the percent, it's going to say we found 54 of these percents. Then click on the three little dots right here and then click on replace with, leave it blank and click replace all. Then click on done. Now you can see you have a blank cell in between every 9 results. So this list is ready to go. I'm just going to name this as Christmas 495 words, 9 per puzzle, just so I know what this is later when I'm looking at it. And then just go ahead and click on file and we're going to go download as CSV. Okay, that's already named. We'll save it to our downloads folder. Okay, just like that, that's ready to go. That's how easy it is to create this list. And then we come back over to BookBolt. Now we're going to click choose CSV file, which is now saved on our computer. Just select that file. You'll see the little preview of the name here, Christmas 495 words. And then that's it for this entire section here. We then just click on continue to solutions page. Essentially what we have here is the cover, and then we have all of the puzzles that are on the first 55 pages. The solutions are going to be on the last 55 pages. So just to ensure everything is correct, I do select all and then just uncheck the cover and then click on submit. And then this is going to just start making all of these puzzles for you and putting them into the inside of this book. It's all done automatically, so we don't have to lift a finger from here. So as you can see, when you click on the first page, this is going to be your first puzzle. The only thing that you have to do from here is just scroll through here, looking at each of these results. I'm looking at these little words in here, but on the small preview on the left side over here. And I want to make sure that none of these words are too long, that they're going to be separated onto multiple lines and it messes up the formatting. This is why on our prompt on ChatGPT, we said limit the results to 12 characters. That's because we don't want really long words in here that are going to be split and mess up the whole formatting. So as you can see, as the words get longer, you could run out of space if it was 2 words combined and they were a really long result. So I'm just scrolling through here looking to make sure that there is no issue with any of the formatting. Just doing one quick quality control scan through here is going to save you from any potential bad reviews on Amazon from people finding this because you didn't spend a minute to look at it. So yep, all of these look good. And then you're going to see once you get to the last puzzle here, puzzle 55, it's going to start the solutions pages. BookBolt does all of this for you. This is really awesome. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom, this entire book is complete. Now, I will say though, this cover is not complete. Obviously, I was just showing you how to use these elements, but the last thing I wanted to show you on the cover is how to get one of these word searches on the front cover of your book, which is what a lot of people are looking for when they're looking at covers of word searches. So there's only 2 steps to do this. We're just going to go over to the elements again. We're going to go to square. And we're going to change that to white. Okay, we're going to drag that over here. I'm just going to hit fit so I can see what I'm working with. Drag this a little bit bigger, just about to this area here. And then I'm going to click on our first puzzle. I'm just going to click on it and I'm going to copy it, Command C, or you can just right click and you can copy this and then come back over to the cover, paste it. And as you can see, it is see-through. That's why we had to put this white box here. But then we are just going to make this fit in this white box, just like that. Align this to the center. And then just a couple quick steps here. Come over to the right side. This is going to be all of your elements. Click on the puzzle box, the 3 dots, and click on edit contents. We are going to delete out the title of the puzzle. We're going to delete out the snow, the gift, all of the words down here. So all you do is just right click on puzzle and click on delete. Okay. And then just select all of these words down here. And we're just going to right click, delete those. And there you have it. There is your word search on the cover. I'm just going to come over to the right side and this Santa Claus image, I'm going to drag it to the front. That way we can see it in front of our word search puzzle. And again, you can move that anywhere you want on this cover. So guys, I recommend spending some time creating this cover. You want it to look something like this. This is one of the templates that I use. Now that you know how to use all of the elements, you should be able to spend some time to create one like this. But that is all of our work done in BookBolt here. So once this cover is complete, we have everything inside the book complete as well. Just go to download and we're going to do download current project CMYK printed books. It's the first option here. Just give this a second here. It's going to download everything perfectly formatted for Amazon KDP, and then we can upload it to Amazon. Okay, this is going to ask us, what do we want to name this? So I'm going to name this Christmas 6x9 word search, and that's it. Okay, let's save that to our downloads. And now we are on the last step here. So we can now go over to Amazon. We can create our free Amazon KDP account, and then I'll show you how to upload this onto your account. So if you just go over to Google and type in Amazon KDP, you can click on the first result here. It is Kindle Direct Publishing. It's going to say self-publishing. And now you can just click on Join KDP. You can create your account by putting your name, your email, your password, re-enter your password, and click on create your KDP account. This is then going to bring you into just 2 steps to create your account. First is going to be your identity, so it's just information on you. And second is going to be setting up your account details. So how do they pay you? Where do they send you your profits? For this part, you can enter what bank you want to receive your profits. You don't have to have a business bank set up. You can use your personal bank. And if you don't have a bank account, you can go to payoneer.com and you can use that information as your banking information. So once you create your account, you can start uploading right away. You don't have to wait on an application or anything. So once you come into your account, just go to create and then go to paperback. And then we are going to fill out just these couple boxes. I'll show you how to fill them out right now. So our book title is A Christmas Word Search Book. And then for the subtitle, you want to explain a little bit more of what that book is. Now, a couple pieces of advice here is first, I would go back to Amazon and look at what other people are using in their subtitle. And secondly, I wouldn't copy them. Also, I would not stuff as many keywords into here as possible. If you put too many keywords and you try to make this look a little bit spammy, Amazon's not going to accept this listing. They will send it back to you and say, take out all the extra keywords and make this look professional. So let's come back over to Amazon. Let's look at what other people are doing. So you can see there is the title here, and then you have the 2 dots here, and then you have the subtitle after it. So Christmas word search puzzles for adults is their title, 1,800 plus words, fun holiday themed word search puzzle for seniors. This is an example of a longer subtitle that you could put in here. Again, you're going to run that risk of them rejecting it for too many words. I would look for something simple here. So a fun and relaxing cozy Christmas themed word find puzzle for seniors. Let's do something along those lines. So let's go with a Christmas themed word find puzzle. Now I'm using word search and word find in case someone calls it something different. We are going to have both versions of that in our listing. And since this is Christmas themed, I'm going to say for adults, seniors, and teens. Okay, so this is a nice simple title and subtitle. It tells Amazon what our book is about, and it's nice and professional looking. For those of you who want a real deep dive on how to use all the keywords for this, let me know and I can make another video. I don't want to go too far off on a tangent here, but just know that this is a simple, effective way to do this. And then as you scroll through here, you can skip over series, you can skip over edition number, and then for author, this is kind of an interesting one. So you can use your first and last name. You can use a pen name, which essentially means you can make anything up here. The only thing is you can't use something that someone else is already using. So think about big companies, you can't use their names. What I would recommend as a general rule of thumb here is to put in your first and last initials and then just put in an S after that, and then call it something like puzzle books or word search books or brain activities. This is just a very easy way to get started. And the other thing to know here is that for every book that you release, you can use the same author name and then they will all be kind of listed together, or you can use different author names for each one. There is really not much to overthink on this section here, especially when you were getting started and just getting the hang of it with your first couple books. I would recommend doing something like this. And then continuing to scroll down here, contributors, you can skip that as well. For description, this is where we are going to go back to ChatGPT and quickly write up a description that is formatted in another specific way. So let's go back over to ChatGPT here. And this again, I'm just going to paste my prompt so you guys can see it and it can save you some time. Use this format to write a description about a Christmas themed word search book. And then this is a description that I got and I edited a little bit so I like it from another listing here on Amazon. So let's say that you do find another listing that is similar and you like their description, you can go to read more and then just copy this description and make sure that you are putting it through ChatGPT to change it up. The worst thing that you can do in online business, it's so unethical, is just to copy people's things as is. What I've done is I've copied one of these as a good formatting example, and then in my prompt, I've changed things on it. So all of these lines are different. They've been changed to things that I've come up with. So it's not a direct copy, more or less it's just giving ChatGPT the formatting that I am looking for. Now, if you do use this specific prompt that I've got here, and again, I'll scroll through this slowly just so you guys can pause this if you do want to use a version of this. The only thing that you're going to have to change here is the size. So in our book, it is 6x9, not 8.5 by 11. Again, to show you that, we have 6x9 here, 8.5 by 11 here. This is a really big book. I prefer the 6x9 size. But with that being said, both of those sizes are pre-formatted. So I'm just going to take out the 8.5 by 11 because this book is 6x9. And then we're going to click on generate. So this is just going to write this out for you. Again, no matter what niche or what topic you are going into, you just change that Christmas theme to whatever that topic is. It will customize everything else for you. So that's that. Let's go ahead and just copy this and then go back to KDP, and we're just going to paste this in the description. All of this is ready to go. Just read through it one time, make sure everything makes sense. Okay, there you go. And it's so cool how it does this. It says perfect Christmas gift or stocking stuffer. Just by giving it that prompt of what theme you're looking for on ChatGPT, it customizes all of this for you, and it does a really good job doing it. So that's the description right there. Then publishing rights. I own the copyright and I hold the necessary publishing rights because we created all of this ourselves. Does it have any sexually explicit images or title? No, it does not. There is no minimum or maximum age. Primary marketplace, leave that on Amazon.com. For categories, click on choose categories and then click on select one, scroll all the way down to humor and entertainment, and then come over to subcategories. We're going to click puzzles and games, and then we're going to click on puzzles, word games, and word search. That's all we need to do here, and then just click on save categories. This is a little box here that we don't have to worry about, but remember we were talking about journals and notebooks? Those are low content books. That means they just have lines inside. We are actually what's considered kind of a medium content book because we have actual generated content that we've created and put inside of this book. So we don't have to check that. And then the next one is large print books. Since we did a 6:9 size, the font is somewhere around 13 to 14 points. Now, if we did select an 8.5:11 book, the bigger size, that font would be 16 to 17 points. So we would be able to select large print book. This is generally for people that need glasses or they need bigger font. They want to be able to sort the Amazon search results to see which ones have large font. I just wanted to spend a second to explain that, but again, you can leave both of those unchecked. Now we get into the keywords. This is additional things that people could be searching that you want to tell Amazon that your listing is about so that they also show you for it. So the most important thing here is to make sure that you are not stuffing keywords into here. You're not putting any punctuation, no commas, no periods, and you want to just type in what your book is about. You don't have to get overcomplicated. So I'm going to do Christmas word search. I also want to do Christmas word find. And then what I'm going to do is come back over to Amazon, go all the way to the top, and I'm going to click on this search, word search for Christmas, and see what other people are searching. So Christmas word search for adults. Let's go ahead and use that. We'll come back over to Amazon. Christmas word search for kids. Christmas word search books for adults. Christmas word search large print. Brain games, Christmas word search. These are different ideas that people are actively searching for. So I'll use the for kids, book for adults. Let's type those couple in. And then I've got kind of all the ideas I wanted to get out of here. Let's go back to the results and let's see what other people are using. So winter word search, that's going to be a good one. Holiday themed word find puzzle, we'll use a variation of that. So let's do winter word search and then holiday themed word search. Okay, that's going to give Amazon a good idea of additional things that we haven't put in our title and description that we also want to show up for. So that is taken care of. Let's come down here. Publication date and release date are the same. You can leave that. Release my book for sale now. You can leave that. Let's go on to the next step. Okay, and then in this next step, just click on assign ISBN. This is Amazon giving you a free kind of identification number for your book. It's what they'll put on the barcode. You can go out and purchase ISBNs. They do get pretty expensive. I have heard of no advantage to doing that compared to Amazon just giving you a free one here. So that's what I would use for that step. And then black and white interior with white pages. You can leave that as is. Make sure that your sizing is on 6:9. If you did change this to an 8.5:11, that's going to be located right here, but that's going to raise your printing cost. It's going to give you a really big book. And when we were creating that template over in Bookbolt, we would have had to change that size. Then we're going to go to bleed, turn that on. That allows it to print all the way to the edges of that book. And then you can go with a matte or a glossy finish. So let me try to show you this on camera. This is a glossy finish over here. This is a matte finish over here. They are both good options. I don't think anyone's going to be upset by getting either a matte one or a glossy one. This is really going to be personal preference for you. I don't think you can go wrong with matte or glossy. They both come out great. So now we're down to this section right here where you can upload the inside and the cover of your book. If you click on upload manuscript, you're going to see that this file that we've saved from Bookbolt is still in a .zip format. So it's actually a folder that we have to open on our computer. So just click on cancel real quick, go to your downloads, and you can click on the download right here. This is going to open up that folder for you. You really just have to click and open it once on your computer, and then it turns into a folder from the zip. It's a little bit confusing, but if you just click on it once to open it on your computer, it will unzip the zipped folder. So now when you click on upload manuscript, you can see Christmas 6:9 word search. Let's open that. And now we have the paperback interior right here. Click on this one and open it. This will take just a second to upload. Okay, once that loads, you can scroll down here and go to upload a cover you already have, upload your cover file, and now come down to the bottom, paperback cover. That's the one we want to upload here. Give this one just a second to upload as well. And now both of these will likely show up at the same time. It's going to give you a green check mark saying, okay, the interior has been uploaded, the cover has been uploaded successfully. Next up is, did you use AI tools in creating text, images, or translations for your book? This we are able to say no because we only use ChatGPT to come up with those words list. They are not artificial intelligence generated words. Rather, it's just a list of words that we can use for the BookBolt software, which is not done with artificial intelligence. So that takes care of that section, and then just click on Launch Previewer. This is going to take a couple minutes here. This is typically where I get to this part in this process and I'll go make a cup of coffee or I'll do something around the house that I need to. It typically takes about 5 minutes to process all the files that you've uploaded and then give you kind of a digital proof as to what that would look like. And then we can move on to the next step of setting the price. Okay, so once this loads, this is what the previewer looks like. We've got our cover here, the front and the back. It auto added the barcode with the ISBN like we were talking about. And then you can go into the inside of the book. You can see all of the puzzles. It's going to show all of the interior pages that you could look at. Since we know that we created this file on BookBolt, everything's going to be formatted right. So we just go over to approve, click on that. And then this is going to bring us into the last page here. Just go to save and continue. And this is where we get to set our pricing. So we want this to be available worldwide in all territories. Our primary marketplace is set to Amazon.com. This is where we get to set our price. So I would recommend selling your word searches around $5. So let's put in $5.99. This is going to tell you that the printing cost is $2.32. You are going to get $1.27 every time your book sells. Essentially what this means is you get 60% of the profit. Amazon gets 40% of the profit. So if we're selling this for $5.99, they are going to automatically subtract $2.32. That's the cost to print it. And what's left over of that is the profit. We get 60% of it, which is $1.27. If I've learned anything from selling an online business over the years, it's that even a small profit margin like this is absolutely okay because you're selling on such a high volume marketplace and you don't have to do any additional work to fulfill each order. Amazon is going to do absolutely everything after we upload it to their marketplace. So even if we get 10,000 orders in 1 month, we don't have to do any additional work compared to if we got 1 order in 1 month. So that is for the United States Amazon marketplace. It's going to auto-generate the rest of the prices for the corresponding marketplaces below. You can adjust these a little bit if you want to go to something like $4.99 just to make it look cleaner. You can do that all the way through all of these, just round to the closest 99. And then you're just going to have 2 boxes to look at here, basically saying it's going to take up to 72 hours. We're going to review your book, make sure all the formatting, make sure the title and the subtitle all looks good. And then you will get email saying that your product is live on Amazon. And lastly, you can request a proof if you want them to ship one of these copies out to you totally at cost. So it would be the $2.32 to print it. And then you can have one of these on hand like this, which is actually pretty cool. So once you've got this far, all you have to do is click on publish your paperback book. And then this will go into the review process and be live on Amazon. Now, I'm not going to actually publish this because, as you know, this cover was not totally complete. I was just showing you how to create it. So I don't want that published to my account. But the last thing that I will say here is once you are ready to start your next niche, all you do is go to project and go to new project. We can leave all of this as is, just change the template to the next one. So let's say we're doing Halloween, create project. This is where it gets kind of cool. So let's go ahead and just turn this off, hide cover, just like we did before. But now we can open up that last project we did. So my projects, we'll go to that template one that we created, and I'm going to select all the way out here, select all of this, and I'm going to right click. Let's copy it. Now let's go to that project that we just created, Halloween, open that, and I'm just going to right click and paste. Now we have that whole template that we created before. We can switch this from Christmas to Halloween. We can switch this graphic just by coming over here and swapping it. That is how you start efficiently creating these books. You have the template made, you have ChatGPT to create your list with the prompts that you can copy paste. And once you start getting cruising here, I find that it takes me just about 1 hour from total start of finding an idea to total finish of having that uploaded and submitted for review on Amazon. As a reminder, the 20% off coupon code to BookBolt is down in the description below. Guys, I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any questions at all, just let me know down in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, please just give it a thumbs up. All right, guys, that is it for this one. I will plan on seeing you all in the next video.